What's up guys, Rico and I are at the hotel gym. We're gonna go get a workout in. I think the gym is actually really nice. We were in there earlier, has a lot of equipment, so it's gonna be good. Rico is going to film the workout and then I'm going to sort of narrate it afterwards. So hit the like button. Hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions, leave them below. I'll see you inside. Thank you. How do you pronounce your name? Yesenia?
Yes.
I love that. It's not too busy in there, is it?
No.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is a chest workout, and I'm gonna walk you through step by step every exercise, and along with some technique cues and reasons for why I did certain exercises certain ways. So this first exercise, it's a pec deck. And basically, I'm doing for 3 sets of 20 reps, and the purpose is to pre-fatigue the muscle. I know a lot of people tell me they struggle to feel their pecs working actually when they're doing certain movements, whether it's bench press or push-ups or anything. The pec deck is a really good way to isolate the muscle, and I go for lower weight, higher rep, just to make sure you're pre-fatiguing it, which isn't to get to the point of failure, just to make sure that you're really feeling the muscle do the work, so when you go to more of your strength-based movements, you can start to feel the muscle better. The reason I'm standing up is because I tend to feel my pecs better when I lean slightly backwards during this movement. When you're sitting, the pad is generally straight up and down, which almost puts you slightly forward, which makes it hard for you to actually feel your pecs. So I stand up so I can get a slightly backward angle, and that really helps me feel my pecs as I come in on every rep. For the next exercise, this is my main move of the day. This is the main strength move. It's an alternating dumbbell bench press with an ascending ladder. And so what you'll see me doing is I'll do 1 rep on my left side and then 1 rep on my right side. 2 on my left, 2 on my right, 3 on my left, 4 on my right, and that is 1 set. It's a total of 10 reps per arm. The difference is when you're keeping one arm stationary as the other one reps it out, you're keeping the muscles on, right? You're still activated. You're not resting the dumbbell on your chest. You're not just passively holding the weight. You're actively holding it with your shoulders and with your chest. So it fatigues you even more quickly. And this is a really good way, especially if you're in a hotel with not that heavy a weight, you can still get the same strength benefit, same muscle growth, hypertrophy benefit that you would, even if they don't have very heavy weight available. So also you'll notice I have my feet on the bench. And this is because I like to elevate my feet sometimes when I'm bench pressing, because it sort of reduces the arch on the bench press, which, keep in mind, an arch isn't a bad thing. An arch is a very good thing, especially if you're doing a barbell bench press with more of a competitive strength-based goal. When your goal is more physique and more chest focused and you want to get more muscle definition, I like to reduce the arch a little bit to make sure you can feel your chest more. Also, when I take my feet off the floor and put them on the bench, I eliminate the ability of my legs to produce force and generate extra force, and all of it now has to come from my chest and my shoulders and triceps. If you're more of a powerlifting style, you want your legs to contribute, but when it's more physique focused, you don't want your legs to contribute because that's taking away tension off the chest. Now this next exercise, I was really excited to see this machine. I don't see this in many gyms. This is not a very common machine, so when I saw it, I had to use it. Last time I used this machine was when I was training in Ohio at Westside Barbell. It's a standing chest press, and I love this. It's a very old school machine, really great for hitting your chest and really isolating your pecs. So what you'll see me do here is just controlled repetitions, slow eccentric on the way down, and then a more powerful concentric on the way back out. Nothing fancy to it, don't overthink it. Generally what I like to do is I really like to wrap my thumbs over the bar. I don't like to keep my thumbs underneath it. When I wrap my thumbs over the bar, number one, it's a little bit safer for your shoulder. You get a little bit more external rotation and gives your shoulder more room to move freely without fear of impingement. And you can also, for me personally, you can drive through the outer bottom portion of your palm, and when I do that, I get a better recruitment for my pec as opposed to if I'm pressing through the inside bottom portion. So really pressing the outside bottom portion does help to get your pecs involved a little better. Okay, so this is the second to last exercise of the day. It's a cable pec fly. Now, a lot of people ask, how do you know how high to put the cables? Should they be chest height? Should they be below? First and foremost, you never know exactly how high they should be, especially when you're using a new machine. This took me a little bit of fidgeting with a couple sets, a couple reps to really make sure I got the right height for me. Personally, I tend to feel these better when the cables are slightly below shoulder height. If I put them at shoulder height or above, I don't really feel my pecs very much, so I keep them slightly below my shoulders, and then I focus on coming more upwards and across rather than necessarily just trying to come straight across. When I get that slight upward motion, I get a better pec activation, more of a pec recruitment. And here again, it's relatively lightweight. You're gonna keep the major focus on feeling your pecs draw the movement rather than focusing on your shoulders. A lot of people go too heavy, which then they use too much shoulder and not enough pec. And you'll also notice I'm really light with my fingertips. I keep my fingers light. I don't squeeze the handles. I try to actually a lot of times keep my fingers open because that forces me to keep very light on the handles. And reason being, the harder you squeeze on something, the more shoulder activation you're gonna get. The harder you squeeze, the more rotator cuff fires, which is in some movements is very beneficial. Like a bench press, you wanna squeeze really hard so your shoulder fires. In a movement like this that's more pec focused, you actually wanna keep your hands open, relatively light, so you can put all the focus on your chest. Last exercise of the day, we're doing a low incline dumbbell squeeze press. It's one of my personal favorite exercises for getting a more strong, defined chest. Keep in mind, number one, that you should not use heavy weight. Okay, this is relatively lightweight, higher repetition, really focusing on your chest. You don't want to be driving through your shoulders. You will feel your triceps, but those are more secondary. Really want you to focus on squeezing the dumbbells together and having your chest drive the movement. The incline is about 45 degrees. Don't get too meticulous with this. If it's a little bit lower, a little bit higher, it's okay. Again, just focus more on slight incline and really feeling your chest. The last thing I want to talk about is you'll notice how I'm pushing the dumbbells slightly away from me rather than letting them travel up towards my face. If you let the dumbbells travel up towards your face and over your eyes, you're going to be using too much shoulder. You'd rather focus pushing them slightly away from you and towards the wall. Again, not so much that they fall onto your lap, but slightly away from you and towards the wall so you get more chest activation rather than more shoulder. Do that, it's gonna help. You're gonna blow your chest up in this workout. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Would sincerely appreciate it if you subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified when new videos come out. No matter what, thank you, I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.